Okay, well, I'll invite comments from the panel, first of all, in terms of some of the points that Sam has made.
I'm looking at that model there, and the problem about that is it's overly complex. You know, that if you think of your structural equation modelling or anything like that, you have to say, well, what is cause here and what is effect? How do you factor in all these models into a model that will allow you to say they've all led to brand equity? Yeah. You know, it's very, very difficult to actually imagine how you would calibrate that. So I don't know, is that a model that you actually test or not? But as it stands, it is showing the complexity of the task.
It is very complicated, and you don't do it in one go. You create lots of little work modules around each of those layers. And so for instance, you know, new customer acquisition, lower customer churn, you can get that through econometric modeling. Price elasticity analysis, you can get that through some kind of conjoint analysis, or even the blind versus branded testing. The increasing consumer permission and brand extensions, there is a solution we've developed that looks at brand stretchability within a given sector. Increased routes to market, well, I'd say in the online world, you look at your share of Google. So these are all little work studies that need to be done. It's not one solution wrapped up.
I mean, it strikes me looking at it that it's certainly a tool that can be used to make a persuasive case for a marketing department's existence with finance, but that in turn has to be supported with maybe a series of micro cases making a case for each one of these. But how realistic in a small economy like Ireland, I mean, a question that sort of occurs to me is the return on investment of the market research. I mean, a golden rule is, you know, you shouldn't spend so much of your time and both opportunity cost on the market research if the benefits of the course of action don't actually justify it. And I mean, that's a question maybe for you as well, Alan. You know, in a company that are offering services around this area, is the Irish economy and the brands here, I mean, can they invest in this type of research?
They have to make choices, and that comes back to what we were talking about earlier on about the brand tracking investment. You know, you have to make choices, but typically speaking, from market mix modelling, you can expect to see an improvement in the efficiency of your marketing budget by 10 to 20%. So that general improvement in efficiency will more than cover the cost of doing the modelling to begin with. But one of the things that concerns me is that we as an industry don't seem to have the credibility with clients and boardrooms in particular when we talk about this kind of thing, because you're always met with the glazed over eyes and this, well, you would say that, wouldn't you? And I think we've got a big job to do to persuade people that we're actually thinking in their best interests in relation to this. You know, this is not a profit center for any agency in terms of, you know, analytics. This is something that we provide as part of a service to try and improve our clients' ROI and as a result improve our business. But there seems to be this credibility issue which concerns me.
Let's see if there's any comment, observation, question from the floor on Sam's presentation.
I'd just like to,
I'll repeat.
Tim Griffiths from OMD, just maybe just to add to that conversation that's just gone on. We had a client who did some serious media mix and investment, and the net result for that was they stopped investing in one particular medium, which was having no positive effect on what they were trying to do. So they could have kept doing what they were doing. They could have invested a lot more money in buying media that has had no positive effect for them, or they could have done the research and now invest the money in a far better way. So I think just clients have to be brave to take on this type of approach, you know, to do our jobs better.
Okay.
Do you know what I find interesting is what's the alternative? You know, just going like that and saying, I think I know the answer. That's one of the things that just I've always been puzzled by. If you're not going to invest in it, what is the alternative?
Is there a case, or is there a sense that sometimes the degree to which analytics occur at the moment are around the return on marketing investment, which is a ratio that's an efficiency ratio effectively, and that in fact marketers need to talk about effectiveness measure. By that I mean that you alluded to this in terms of the shareholders. What they want to know is cash, that they actually the actual extent to which their stock is increased. And
it's moving away from that ratio of incremental sales divided by marketing investment. That is ultimately what the ROI is. That move away from a ratio to a subtraction, which is how much extra money did the campaign bring in, minus what was the cost of the campaign. Yeah, so the money in times the margin, which is the profit, minus the cost. So pure cash left in the business once you've accounted for the spend in marketing. That's what we call financial contribution, and that's the language we need to be speaking with at board level.